we want to bring in Kyle Bartel. Kyle Bartel joins us on the live line, and a resident of one of Step Denver's sober homes. And Kyle, thank you so much for joining us, and it's great to have you on. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here and just sort of share some of my experience with Step Denver.
Yeah, please do, Kyle. What is your story? Whatever you're comfortable in sharing.
Sure. So I'm 37 years old. My sobriety date is April 14th, 2019. So I'm just coming up on about 20 months sober.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a one day at a time thing. Mm-hmm. I have been in and out of recovery for over 20 years. So my first meeting and my first rehab was when I was 17, 20 years ago. So I've kind of been in and out of the gamut from I've been through 6 different rehabs. I've been in and out of jail, in and out of homelessness, psychiatric wards, all the bad things that happen to people when they're in the throes of their alcoholism and addiction. And when I came to Step, I had been living at the Denver Rescue Mission off and on, or on the streets, and I had been playing piano on 16th Street Mall and donating plasma, and that was the only way I was getting by.
Wow.
I came to Step with a backpack and a toothbrush, and they told me about the program, and I kind of was hesitant, thinking, oh, it's going to be just kind of like another rehab, and I'll dry out for maybe 90 days, and then back to the hell that I was living. Well, I was very pleasantly surprised that that's not at all what Step was. They gave me so many opportunities to help myself. They didn't, as you said earlier, enable. They definitely empowered. It was, we're going to help you find your own job. It's going to be a tax-paying job. We're going to help you figure out what's going on with your finances. Oh, you haven't had a bank account in 3 years? Well, let's figure that out. You know, it was peer coaching. It was working together with my brothers there at Step, the community there. There was just a sense of belonging to a group of guys that were all trying to get themselves in a better spot and to stay sober one day at a time. And that to me has been an amazing gift. I'm working 2 different jobs. I get to work with developmentally disabled adults. So I'm a caretaker. I get to give back by doing that in my regular job. And then also I do part-time work at the desk at Step, which was not something I'd ever planned on doing. But now, here I am working at 2 nonprofits. It's amazing.
Well, congratulations to you on your sobriety, and we pray for you. Kyle Bartel is with us. He's a sober home resident. Paul, let me bring you into this. It's not just the facility on Larimer. Talk about that.
It's not. We do have the primary facility on Larimer where folks come in, and we put them through the first 3. Actually, they work the first 3 phases of the program: stability, development, and transition. And then they have the opportunity to move into one of the sober living homes where there is more freedom. They learn to take care of a home, but most importantly, they learn to be good community members. How do I maybe help the folks next door? How do I just be respectful of my neighbors? And along with that comes more freedom, more privilege, but there still is that structure and that accountability. You know, Kyle, would you like to speak to what your experience was in transitioning from the Larimer facility into one of the sober homes? I think we may have lost Kyle.
Oh, there you are, Kyle. Go ahead. Go ahead with Paul's question.
It's all good. Absolutely. So I transitioned from the Step, the facility after about, I want to say 4 months, getting through the first 3 phases. I was pretty quick because I was good at following the directions. Some guys take a little bit longer, usually around 6 months, but it was an amazing opportunity. I moved from a big facility with a whole bunch of guys to a really nice, cared-for house. 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, bedroom to yourself, all the roommates. I think that the nicest part about it is I could come home every day knowing that my roommates were all going to be sober, and they were all going to be working, and we were all on the same page and accountable to each other and working with each other. So it was like a smaller version of what the big Step facility was like, but a little bit more freedom. I could go and stay at my folks' house in Longmont and sort of work on that relationship that had been not so good in the past, and now it's fantastic.
That's awesome to hear.
Kyle, how did you feel living in the house without any staff there, did you have a sense that, you had earned some trust?
Yes, very much so. Some trust, and also, I mean, because of my history in and out of recovery, I'd been in an Oxford house, a couple of those in the past, and I thought it was going to be similar to that, but it was much different because all the guys were kind of still using the same methods and the same principles that they had learned at the STEP facility, and they were just applying it to the house, but doing it on their own without being told. And it was very nice.
Before we take our next break, I want to just wrap up with you and take all the time you need. But if we were to have had a conversation 3 years ago, obviously a completely different story in your life and your experiences than today. Where do you hope you are, say, 3 years from now?
Well, I can tell you 3 years ago, if you'd talked to me, I probably would have told you I don't think I'll be alive. I was on a path that was very terrible. 3 years from now, I have no idea. The sky is the limit. I have been given the tools and the ability to stay sober one day at a time and to help others. And I can't even thank Steph enough. I don't know how to show or portray my gratitude, but for 3 years from now, maybe I'll have a place in my home and have some other guys that are sober staying with me. I'm not sure. The sky's really the limit.
That's a pretty selfless answer. Listen, we got your back. We'll be praying for you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, and it's great that you're mending the relationship with your parents in Longmont, and I'm sure you feel that love all the time. So please know that there are complete strangers after you taking the time out of your evening that they'll be praying for you and certainly praying for your success.
Well, thank you so much for having me on, Stefan. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Kyle,
Thanks so much, Kyle.
Bartell, wow. I mean, do you need to say any more? ColoradoGives.org.